Hi guys, welcome back to Operation Exploration. This is episode 20. This episode we are going to be doing different designs for the Portacabin or base that we're going to be putting up on the moon. Now we need to remember that this base needs to have space for the rover inside it as well, and it also needs space for us to go in as well and have the essentials, so everything from medical bays to assemblers, basic refinery, all that needs to be there. So for example, if we go up there in the ship and we crash accidentally, we have something that we can use to get back to Earth with. Now I do know that we can use our own sort of like jetpack to get back with, but there's no fun in that. We want to make it that if we're on and we're stranded on the moon, we need to get the resources on the moon to come back. So let's get on the way. Now I'm trying to think of a good place to design this. I did originally think it'd be best to design this on the surface up there. I might actually just do that. The only thing is there's no builders up there except for the wee ship. Where is it? There it is. This ship. There's builders on that, so we can build it off the side. I think it might be better up here because of the light. Like, I do know the light does come down there during the day, but it's only like around for about maybe 10 minutes. And we're going to be spending a lot of time designing this new Portacabin. Yeah, I suppose that's what we're going to call it, is a Portacabin. Now let's get set up over here. By the way, I'm using a new microphone. That's probably why my voice sounds a lot more clear. It's not coming up in the camera because it's been removed in the background, but I might show it later on. Right, Super Gremlin. Now I'm just trying to think of maybe a wee platform that we can build this off, just something basic so we know. Now I was thinking of originally making this as large grid, but now I'm thinking maybe small grid would be best, just because it has a lot more potential for what you can do with it in design ways and shapes. So let's get a little platform here going of what can we get around with this? This is actually really annoying. No, let's actually do it somewhere off to the side here. Now let's get some of these. Let's see, I've got over the base. Now this is only for building. There we are. Now the Portacabin isn't going to be that big. We wanted to have the basic stuff in it, so we need a list of everything that we're going to put in it. Now typically, I know this from like the background of doing like the job, my career in the background, is that when you are designing anything, so say for example in our case we're going to be doing the Portacabin. If you're designing a Portacabin, first of all you need to get the items that you're going to be putting in it, or stuff that's going to be built into it. You have to get that first, then you design the Portacabin sort of around it if you'd like. So in this case we're going to get things like the assemblers or the refinery that we're going to be using, the medic bays. We're going to place them down, look at how they're structured, how they're built, and then build the Portacabin around these items so we know how wide, how long we need to be, and like just make it comfortable. And also I have a few ideas on what I'd like to do. So one of the things I was thinking of, which would be pretty cool, is that if you imagine, if you've ever seen the film Avatar, now they had a mobile, what would you sort of say, a remote to the controller that they had for the actual avatars. It was like a cabin, but it could be taken around, and they had it going around on these wee copters and dropping them down. Now they had like pistons on the corners of them, so when you did drop it, you know, they sort of absorb the shock of it hitting the ground. Something like that would be pretty cool, so we can drop it from a height. So we can have like a ship with rockets on it, and then we hover over the moon and drop it, and then these pistons take the shock. Now that requires us having to do some shock tests with some pistons, and I'd say that'd be pretty cool if we get that going. So what we do is we build like a long post with like a merge block with a piston on the end of it, and then what we do is we drop it and see how it absorbs. And then we can put like artificial mass blocks on it, add as much weight as we can, and just determine just how heavy these pistons can take. Now I do know that you can get all this information from other YouTube videos, the Wikipedia, etc., but there's no fun in that. We want to do actual testing, so let's get that underway. So first things first, let's get our little platform built. I think we should make this a wee bit longer and a wee bit wider. So let's go at another 3. Now we don't want to go mad on big, but we do want this here to be somewhat acceptable for what we're going to be doing the tests on. So let's what we might do as well, we might add some stairs to make it look like as if it's authentic, it belongs here. So to make it look like it belongs here, let's suppose to add another layer of blocks around the edges like that, and we can put that there. That's well done. Now we can add things like railings around the edge of that when we're finished, but let's turn on the builders just to get that underway. There we go. I think builders should reach all that. And it's not a big deal. Yeah, kind of cool to come over a wee bit closer so it covers over this aisle hole. So what is that? Oh, it's nickel. Rubbish. Not that it's rubbish, it's just too much of it. Now, I need to get into the habit of turning them builders off. The last episode I got really laggy, and that's because the builders were on. Yeah, let's do testing over on this side. So what we'll do is we'll add a bunch of plates here. I've run out. Let's get some more. Now, let's do a quick test with some pistons and weight and see how we get on with those. So we're just going to do this out of light armor, and what we're going to do is going to come up. Let's actually set a height here with our GPS. So what we're going to do is new from current position. We're going to call this testing height. There we go. And we're going to do this in green. There we go. And I'll always show. How's that look? There we go. So let's see what height we're at there. 17 meters. Now we need to imagine like we're dropping it from 50, so let's go up to about 50. Okay. So that's our height at 50 meters, so let's put that there. And then what we do is we go back to normal blocks, and it means that everything has to be that height. So if we're doing, yeah, let's get an advanced rotor with a small head. Oops. And let's add a small head to that. Okay. So let's come out a few blocks and then we're out of the way, we're clear. Yeah, let's come out another, is that fine with that clear stuff? Let's come out another 2 or 3, that'll do. Now, we'll put a merge block on the end. And 7, 6, there we go. Yeah, this will contribute if you imagine. Oh wait, now, mass block. Oh, I think we have to unlock it. Artificial mass, where are you? Artificial mass, there. So we need to build a gravity generator. It is. Looks like it's off a wee bit. What is? It is off the middle. 9. That's really weird. Superconductor, right. It'll probably go in the middle when it's done. So we've got that. Let's get our piston. And let's get our landing. And let's weld that all up, and then we'll set the mass. Now, I'm not sure what the suitable mass should be, but we'll just take it in steps. Where is it before? There it is. Okay. So let's set the basics. Probably better taking a projection of this so we can quickly build like a new one. Ah well, no, do you know what, we'll forget it. Right, let's set this to reverse. We measured it all the full way. We want, let's see, here we go, impulse axis. Oh wait, we need a load of those artificial mass, don't we, blocks, to even do anything. Circumvere, system magnetic. Let's go to this artificial mass. Oh, 2,000 kilograms. Okay, so that's 2 ton, or about that. That's, yeah, piston. Which, that must be it there, yeah. So let's set. Let's go when it just goes into the red. There we go. That's more like it. And let's just see how that operates from that height. So we'll do is we'll turn this here off. It did bounce a bit. Let's see how this copes. Okay, so it is taking the shock, but is it doing any damage? Let's set this to be very, very weak. See how it works. And so what we'll do is we'll put the maximum pulse down to 0. There we go. See how this works. There was like almost no shock in that. What happens if we just put a normal block on the end instead of that? Let's see how that works. Let's see how that goes. Let's add a bunch more of mass blocks. I want to proper break this. I want to see just how much I can take. So let's add one there. Let's get one there. Like that. I want this proper heavy. This is roughly how much weight each one of them will be taking. Let's give us landing gear. Keep the current settings for them pistons. And what we'll do is we'll turn them off because we don't want while out, we want to see what happens. There we go. Right. So it does hop about.
Inventory full.
Okay, so we'll use this here for building the Portacabin. So let me just see if things like medical med kit. Right. I can't make that. How big are they compared to each other? Actually, let's put that in there. So that's that size, and that one's that size. Assembler. Basic assembler. Now, of course, we can do a small ship with large grid stuff inside it. That wouldn't be hard to do. Okay, basic. We're going to build it all on top of it, so let's put that there.
Inventory full.
And wait for that stuff to go away, and let's add a small head. and we will do light armor blocks. It's easier to work with. So let's build it up a little bit of a height so we can get clearance. And let's get a base going. In fact, it's probably too wide, so let's take some off. That's small grid. I do like this one. Let's get this. Put that there. Let's stand at height and see how far we can build. So if we're standing here, we need to be able to look at a large enough window, so we can probably come out another block. I just had an idea. Yeah, I just had an idea of what we can do for them window blocks. So let's get some fancy ones here. Where are they? We have to go to all blocks to get this. This one here. Yeah, and then what we do is put those everywhere we're putting windows. So yeah, that'll do. Let's put them windows up. 4. That's it. Yeah, let's go up 3 blocks tall. Now we put a rim around it. And no one blocks come out. Okay, and let's get the pistons over and put them on. They go and replace. See, I don't think we'll put bars on it yet. Yeah, should be alright of the spot. So that's the pod made. That took a few hours to do. So let's do a little tutorial on it, or showcase. So This is what it looks like from outside. I have made it look a bit, what would you say, industrial looking. It's got the numbers there on the side. So, we've got various lights around the side. We have landing legs that can be enabled and disabled. There's the door. It's triggered by a sensor that's inside there. These are like access for outside. So, for example, if we want to go in and put stuff in it, we can move stuff about into various things here, and I think we can get bottles in as well. So let me see, can we go in here? Yeah, we can. So we can pop bottles in and out there to refill from outside without having to go in. This is where the pod, sorry, not the pod, this is where the Rover is going in. I haven't put that yet, that'll be coming in soon. So let's go inside and quickly show what it looks like inside. So the good thing is it's at ground level, so you can just walk straight in without having to do jumping or anything like that there. And we have various buttons. So we've got one there for our interior lights. This one here locks the landing gear down. But the thing is, I noticed it's a wee bit weird, but moving, see the way if you look down at the bottom left, the speed, whereas when I disable it, it's not, let's see. Yeah, it's a wee bit weird. The other thing as well is there's Evac Button. I'll show that in a second. And the Evac Button triggers these here lights, and there's a sound inside. So what happens is, I will put a remote control block in it now. What happens is, say for example, we can't find the base, like the antenna or something's gone out, and we can't find it. We can put on like an audible alarm, and looks like from outside. So you can still hear it. So if you were like in a sandstorm like that and you couldn't see it, just follow the sound. So that's just a simple timer block that triggers that on and off. So let's get the remote block and put that in. And that can go, we'll put it facing forward. Actually, what is forward on this? That is forward. Yeah, it's forward there. Let's put that there, give it the same colour. There. And now let's give it a rename. So we go remote. So what we'll do is we'll call that remote control, and then this is called a pod. That's the name that's given on this. There it is. And so 10 kilometers away. We probably won't venture any further away than that. Although, do you know something? 50. Just to be safe. Just to be safe. And they can be hidden. And that's pretty much it. The rest is all sort of named, so it's easy to see what you're working on. Let's hop out. So that's what it looks like from outside. And of course the whole thing can be raised up. There we are. So it can be worked on and do different things underneath it. I will be putting like an uneven terrain adjustment on it. So say for example, top on a bank, you can adjust it towards the terrain. Now that means having to reduce the sort of torque, if you like, on those there. But yeah, something to think about in the future. Now the way that the wee Rover is going to work, I haven't really sort of decided what way it's going to go in here, but I do know that there is going to be some sort of a drop door on this. Now I'm sort of debating whether or not to put the drop door sort of coming down this way, or opening out like a hatchback boot on a car. So I'm thinking something coming out that can sort of have a ramp on it, so you can get up, or coming out that way and it'll just climb itself up there. Or even substituting them blocks for ramps and then having the whole thing come down. I don't know, there's loads of ideas, but let's see what there is and see what we can do. Now it is wide enough for a Rover. It is very, very wide. But we haven't really decided what way the Rover is going to be built or what it's going to do. So we do know that it needs to have wheels. I'm debating whether or not to put thrusters on it, and if I was putting thrusters on it, they would have the vector. Is it vector thrust 2? Yeah, something like that. But it's a script. I'll probably put that there on it. Oh, that didn't last too long, did it? Is that inserted out of it? No, that's a shame. Sometimes there's a wee ounce of uranium left in those, but nothing to worry about. So let's get back to this. That's what it looks like from there. I'll probably add some more lights on top. There isn't enough. There is 3 solar panels on it for the sun. But the thing is, where the moon is, we're going to land on the, if you imagine the equator line of the moon, there is only like a certain section of the moon that gets lit up by the sun, but we're going to land on the sun side. So it means that when the sun does come around, it will be illuminated and we'll get power on this. But for example, if there is no sun, we have 2 hydrogen engines up here, and we've got a place to put ice that goes into an O2 generator and charges up the engines, and then of course we can fill up our hydrogen bottles in there as well. We also have a cryo chamber to fill up, and we have a survival kit. So that's pretty much it inside. It's just the basic stuff for if we need to use it. It's not really supposed to be relied on. We're not going up ourselves, but this is going up before us. That's going to land up there, and then we're going to have the Rover sitting in here, and that's going to pop out. So the way this will probably work is I'll probably either, so I'm debating, is the laser, oh it is, a laser is yeah, so we're gonna have to put one of these here on it, and the way this is, that laser is going to connect probably on the back somewhere like there. That's going to communicate with the satellite, that's way up there, and then the rover is going to be controlled via, probably via laser and antenna 2. That means we're going to have lots of power so it can last. But the rule is not to venture too far away from this. So an antenna range of probably, I don't know, 20 kilometers would probably be enough for this. We don't want to venture too far. Okay. So the main things about this rover is that the rover is going to have an ore detector on it. Probably a large grid one. So let me see what a large grid detector. There is certain things you need to know about the moon, and is that if you have nickel on the surface, chances are when you mine into the moon you're going to come across platinum. Now, I only learned that recently on a forum that I was reading. But I want to stay away from looking at forums. I want to keep it that we're exploring and finding different things out for ourselves. Like, there's no point going on to something that we know a lot about. The whole point of this is to sort of explore, and especially for people that are brand new to the game, it's just nice to see how certain things are done. So let's get underway with building the rover. Now, first things first, we are going to build using a different colour. The rover will probably blue. So I just want to differentiate between what's going on and what's not. So let's get a merge block. And let's merge them two together. Oops. And that's an 8. Yeah, that's there. 7. There, I think. Maybe there. Connector. That can go here and press out that light. There we go. Put that there. Connector. And switch lock. There. So now we know that's straight. So we can remove all. Actually, let's keep that there as a safety line, just in case the same thing happens again. There we are. That's merged. Okay. Now, that's what it's gonna be at a level. So let's get some wheels. Ah, and it just fits, doesn't it? Yeah, very good. We can actually get rid of it. There we go. And let's... Yeah, let's not be too shy on it. Let's make it as long as we can. That's okay, we can't add a wheel there, but can we add a one on the right? Ah, wrong one. So we can. Come on. Ish. Not a big issue. Just gonna stand back till that goes away. That looks okay. Now what we'll probably do is we will actually style it up a wee bit. So that's actually going to there, and that's going to go there, and then we're going to go up a bit. Like this. Same way to here. And that means that it'll clear. So that there, here. And then we take out the middle. So that you can clear stuff underneath. So we'll keep having above that line there. So that's what it looks like there. And we can add our solar panels if we can. Well, they actually are quite wide. So we can get them to fold. Oh, could we? So I'm thinking if a solar panel length can fit along the side of that. So we have two of them going along the side, and then when we come out we can just pop them out like that there so they're flat. So it means I'm going to go a bit taller with that. So let's get a solar panel. There we go. No, actually, I was going to say put a hinge on top of here and have it that another one comes down and lays that way, but then what happens is if you're inclining, it'll smack off the ground. So we could move this one here further where it's almost nose front. Another one that pops out the back. Let's get one of these and let's get a remote block so we can control it remotely. And it would make sense to put this there. Oh, interior plate. Let's get some. And let's put the here. I don't think I put that down right, did I? I did. And let's put a camera here. And now we can go with our fancy we just support, I suppose. Trying to think of somewhere to put it where it won't be in the way, the ore detector block. Although we could probably put it here, like in there. Yeah, go there. 6. There we are. Then we can add our batteries. Yeah, I think there. So let's add 4 of these, but more towards the back. There. And a gyroscope can go under here. Right, it seems to be a bit top heavy. Probably do no harm to have pistons on it to lift it back up if it falls over or goes upside down or something. So I could probably use the gyro for that. I just need to take it very slow. And let's get it configured. Okay, Rover batteries. Let's drop it here. There we go. Oh, player's antenna is turned off. Let's park it. Okay. Let's go to here and we'll set up the remote. Actually, no, let's set it from there. Do we want it to have that sort of steering on it? I know it is definitely too quick. So let's set that up. To be speed limit. Let's turn it down to about 20. There we go. Yeah, that's a suitable speed. There we go. And let's set up the camera so we can view, and we can recharge on and off. Let's see what this sees. There we are. I think we should add a few more cameras to this, like third person perspective and stuff. Let's take it back over. Yeah, let's put that there. Let's put
energy low.
this here. Put the camera on top. And then camera. Set it up again. So that's going to be piston, camera. See what this looks like now. Yeah, it should be alright to control that on in now. Oh. Switch to rear. And let's put the connector switch 6. Here we are. Rover is inside it. Connected up. Yes. So guys, that's pretty much it for this here episode. I know some of this here was cut short on like building this here, but I thought some of it was too boring and there was a lot of pausing in the video trying to think of what else to add. But new things that was added onto this here was this here connector. So that'll be used for filling up with ice. We'll probably end up making a wee ship in the future, one that will be dedicated to sending cargo over and back to this pod from Earth to the moon. So just future-proofing this pod entirely. The other thing as well is this door has been added on the back, and the reason why these red things are on is because it's technically 2 different grids, which is held together with a merge block. So what will happen is we disengage the merge block, add a hinge part on there, attach it onto that, and then remove all them suppose things that's holding that in place. So the good thing is about this here is we're actually going to be making probably about 2 or 3 of these, maybe more, and the whole point of that is we're actually going to lift these here up with that ship there. Has it got the land? Yeah, it's got the land leg. We're actually going to lift that about 50 meters off the ground, and we're going to drop it with those pistons extended. And the idea of that is we're just going to see what breaks and what doesn't, and we're going to keep testing until we can see what the limit is. So even if we drop it at 1,000 meters, we're going to do that. And the whole point of that is just in case we come in too quick into the moon, and yeah, it's just basically just to see what the velocity would take to crash this. So we'll use we'll probably put the other space engineer in here and have it recording the meters per second and just see how quick it goes and how quick it lands, and just different calculations in that there, just basic. So that's something to look forward to. We are going to take these here and test the absolute limit out of these. So there is going to be quite a lot of resources wasted, but we'll end up recycling it, and that'll probably give us the excuse to make some sort of a grinding pit to drop them into to recycle. So that's what's coming up in the next episode. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in episode 21.